Following the introduction to solving trig equations, we're now going to have a look at solving some harder trig equations in these sort of forms here. This can be quite a difficult topic, and there's lots of different ways of approaching it. One of which is simply to put this graph into your graphic display calculator, y equals sine 2 theta, and also the graph y equals 0.5, and read off solutions. But I'm going to show you a method where we extend the interval to start with, and we do that by solving for just 2 theta. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is we let x be 2 theta, so we're now solving for sine x. We'll then extend our interval, because this interval's for theta. For x we want to double the interval because it's 2 theta. We then proceed as normal, and we would expect 4 solutions as we've got 2 cycles of the sine graph. You get 2 in each. So the first thing we do is find the principal value using the calculator, inverse sine of 0.5, and we get 30 degrees. We then find further solutions using the graph. The first one is the symmetry solution, that's 180 minus the principal value for sine, and then the other two are by subtracting in this instance, because we're going down to minus 360, we subtract 360 from our first 2 values. We'll have a look at what this looks like on the graph. So the graph of y equals sine x, the graph of y equals 0.5, and you could use your graphical calculator at this stage. We'll see this first value, well, as we expect, this is our 30 degrees. The symmetry value, 180 minus 30, 150 degrees, and then 2 further values by subtracting 360 from both of these. So 150 minus 360 gives us minus 210, and 30 minus 360 minus 330. And there's all 4 solutions. Not quite done yet though, are we? Because remember, we're looking for values of theta between minus 180 and 360, not values of 2 theta. So in order to find our solutions for theta, we halve each of these angles, and now we're done. Don't forget to do that last stage. You'll get penalised heavily in the exam if you do so. And also don't forget, solve for x first, get all of the values. If you start trying to shortcut it or trying to halve them too early, you'll get wrong answers. Okay, let's try one with this translation then. Similar idea. We're going to change our interval by adding 30, so that we're solving for theta plus 30. So we're now between 30 and 390. Now this is particularly important when we get our first principal value. Sine minus 1 of 0.4 gives us 24 degrees, which is actually outside our range, isn't it? It's outside the interval that we're looking for answers within, but that doesn't matter. We can still use it to find the symmetry value, which is 180 minus 24, 156. We've now got 2 values, one outside the range and one inside, but to find further values we still follow the same process of adding or subtracting 360. Well, although 24 falls outside, if we add 360 to 24, you can see it will be less than 390, it'll be 384, so that will fit in. We've only got 1 cycle of the graph, so we would actually expect only 2 answers. And we can see here that if we add or subtract 360 from 156, it would either be too big if we add 360 or too small if we subtract 360. So the only 2 answers we're going to get are the 384 and the 156. And then, of course, don't forget that final stage. We've solved for theta plus 30. It was theta between 0 and 360 we were looking for, so subtract the 30 degrees to get the final answer. This method works for any similar function, any similar angle. And here's some examples. So all of these can be solved by changing the interval and then just solving, finding all the values that fall within the intervals, and then correcting to theta once you've done that. Don't do it too early. Okay, your turn now. Have a go at these. They're exactly what we've just been doing. Pause the presentation, have a go, and if you get most of them, hopefully all of them right, then you'll be very ready for the lesson. If you're struggling, can't think what to do, then clearly you need to go back over the video, possibly even the previous video, the introduction to solving trig equations, and make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, here's the answers. This is what you should have got. And as I said, if you were more or less successful with those, then you're ready to proceed.